All right, let's dive right in. We're going to take something you learned back in grade school, something that feels as solid and true as 1 + 1 = 2, and we're about to flip it completely on its head. I mean, we all know this one, right? The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. It's like Geometry 101. It's the foundation for how we measure pretty much everything. It feels like this unbreakable, fundamental law of the universe. It's simple, it's elegant, and it just seems so obviously true.
But what if it's not? What if that fundamental rule, that axiom we never ever question, is actually wrong? Or maybe, at the very least, it's just incomplete. What if I told you that in most of the situations that really matter in life, it's actually terrible advice? So, the core of the problem, really, it comes down to a simple, kind of overlooked fact. All those maps we use every day and the geometric rules we learn for them, they're all based on a flat, two-dimensional surface. But the world we actually live on, well, it's not flat, is it?
Okay, so this right here really shows the flaw in our thinking perfectly. You look at a flat map, right? A straight line from, say, New York to Paris, it looks like the shortest, most obvious route. But our planet isn't flat, it's a sphere. So if you try to follow that straight line in the real world, you'd have to either tunnel straight through the Earth's core or blast off into space. And, neither of those is exactly a practical travel plan.
So the actual shortest path, the one every single airline pilot uses, is something called a Great Circle Route. And what that shows us is that on the surface of a sphere, the shortest distance between 2 points is never a straight line. It's always an arc. It's a curve.
And here's the really crucial point. When you are on a curved surface, like our planet, insisting on taking a straight path is actually the longest, most impossible journey you could take. In this context, the straight line is a lie. The curve is the truth.
Okay, so let's take this idea and move it beyond just geography, because this is not just some fun fact about maps. What if this exact same principle applies to the world of ideas, to how we understand really complex topics, and maybe even how we understand ourselves?
I mean, think about it. Can you really draw a simple, straight line of argument connecting, say, the ideas of Socrates and Buddha? No way. Or what about capitalism and communism? Good luck with that. It's just not possible. And let's get personal. What about your own life? Is there a straight line connecting the person you were 5 years ago to the person you're going to be in 5 years? Of course not. Life isn't like that.
See, to truly connect these totally different points, you can't just charge ahead in a straight line. It doesn't work. You have to take a curved path. You've got to synthesize different ideas, find some common ground, integrate different perspectives. A straight line, in this sense, is just confrontation. But a curved path, that's where you find real understanding.
And this right here is where it gets really, really personal, because this whole idea can completely reframe how we think about our own lives, our careers, and our own personal growth. We're all sold this myth of the straight career path. You graduate, you get the entry-level job, you climb the ladder step by step by step. It's supposed to be this neat, clean, straight line to success. But let's be honest, for most of us, it's a total fantasy. It's basically the flat map of career planning. The reality, for pretty much every successful person out there, is a curved path. They take a detour, maybe they travel, or they work in a completely different field for a while. Along the way, they pick up all these unexpected skills, and then they synthesize all of that unique experience into something truly powerful that nobody else has. That detour, that curve in the road, that wasn't a setback, that was the shortcut.
There's this beautiful saying that I think just captures this perfectly. It recognizes that the journey is not going to be a straight line. It's going to have twists, it's going to have turns, but it's that winding nature of the road that leads to a genuinely bright future, one that's filled with way more wisdom and resilience than a straight path ever could.
All right, so let's bring this all together. We've gone from globes and maps all the way to philosophy and careers, and the logic holds up every time. The thing is, we live in a complex, curved world. And if you stick to a straight line mentality in a curved world, well, that's just a recipe for getting lost.
So, this is the new rule. If there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. Between 2 points, the straight line is the longest, and the curve is the shortest. Really let that sink in. The next time you're looking for that direct, head-on solution, just stop and remember that it might actually be the hardest, longest path, the elegant, nuanced, curved approach that's almost always the real shortcut.
And so I'll just leave you with this to think about. Where in your own life, in your career, in your relationships, in the way you learn, where are you trying to force a straight line onto a curved reality? And what amazing detours, what incredible opportunities might you discover if you finally decide to embrace the wisdom of the curve?